Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. Of course, it's Monday, which means that we have a brand new resident on set for the week. Resident artist, rather. We are collaborating with the Art Society of Trinidad and Tobago, and this week we feature Benjamin Noel with some incredible artwork on set with a twist. I think perhaps one of the first times we've seen this sort of art. Good morning, Benjamin, and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me here.
It's a pleasure to have you with us on the show, and thank you for joining us, and thank you, of course, in advance for loaning us your beautiful artwork. I know one of the pieces is just here for this morning as we converse, and I can understand if you do have an attachment to it because it's absolutely amazing. Now, before we get into the pieces on set this morning, tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey as an artist.
Well, I'm a self-taught artist, and I've been dabbling in art ever since I was a small child, and I've always been fascinated by the idea of taking beauty that you can see with your eyes and materializing it into something that lasts forever, basically. Mm-hmm. And I always wanted to create things. So,
well, we see that you have created, and it's fascinating as well because you are a multifaceted creative as well. You're the luthier as well. I saw that in your profile. So you make instruments, you make art.
Yeah.
And so much more. Now, you said you were self-taught. When did you first start painting or creating?
Well, ever since I was a young boy, around 5 years old, I like taking color pencils and doing my little drawings. But it's only when I turned 12 or early teenager, I really picked up a canvas and said, you know what, let me try some acrylics. Let me try some big people painting.
And well, you definitely have some big people paintings here, that is for sure. Now, today, as you sit with us, what are some of your favorite mediums to use?
Well, I'm really an acrylic painter, but recently I've tried to dabble in oil. All of the pieces you see here today are all acrylic.
All acrylic. And how do you feel about oil? You said dabble, but I saw a slight hesitation.
It takes too long to dry.
But how long does it normally take you to create a piece? Let's just say on canvas for now.
On canvas, it ranges from a day to a month, really.
A day to a month.
Yeah.
Interesting. Do you use music as an inspiration, given your affinity to stringed instruments?
Of course. Music will be playing in the background while I paint. Music will be inspired in pieces, such as some of these here today.
Now, what inspires you when it comes to painting itself? Are there any particular themes that you are drawn to that you want to communicate?
I have an affinity for the old masters. So I really like historical pieces. That's where my strong suit is. Especially scenes that one can take different depictions of. I really enjoy having my take on it.
Well, let's start with the piece that's behind me right now. Historical, we can say as well, and I'm sure you'll give us some more context. The Heart of a Shepherd. What inspired this, and give us all the details behind it?
Well, I've been a musician. I started off playing in church. And as you know, David in the story of the Bible was a musician as well as a shepherd. And it was only because of his humility that he became who he was, the future king of Israel. But the real inspiration for it is because of I really wanted to harken back to the old masters that used to, like Michelangelo, for example, that did the Sistine Chapel and has immortal works of art using biblical descriptions.
Now, how long did this piece take you to do it? I mean, it's quite intricate.
This one was about 30 days.
30 days?
Yes.
Okay, so a month, just shy of a month there. Great detail as well as we can see, and I love the way that you brought the light out as well from the sun. Now, I've noticed that you definitely have this theme of light in your paintings as well. Let's go to the next painting. This is, if I'm not mistaken, this is in Trinidad and Tobago, correct?
This is the Reservoir. This actually is the oldest waterwork facility in all of Trinidad. And I really wanted it to be seen and remembered because this used to be, believe it or not, a tourist attraction in the old days.
Right.
Even the future past kings of England came here just to see this beauty, and it's still here in Marvel.
Oh, fascinating.
Yes.
And again, great to see you were able to bring it to life with the reflection as well on the painting. Did you get this from perhaps an image, or was this something that you created?
And this was a site visit that I took images of, but I really I had to use my imagination to what it would have looked like in its glory days.
Well, you definitely captured it quite well. And let's go on to the next one now. This piece is definitely unique. All right, so we're jumping. Tell us a little bit about this piece here.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, in my early days, I really stuck with the biblical themes because I was following the old masters. But then I decided to shift my focus from biblical events to the Caribbean. Mm-hmm. And what cooler way to depict the Caribbean than the Pirates of the Caribbean, which was a real phenomenon in the Caribbean. So the ship you see in here is actually Blackbeard's ship.
Okay.
And it's called the beginning of the end because this is where the British Empire ceased, like the most notorious pirate in existence.
Yeah. And definitely quite detailed there as well. Again, seeing those waves coming to life and the intricacy with the flags would have captured our attention this morning, and that pop of color. How long did this take you to do?
This one took about a week, honestly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing work. Now, let's go on to this next piece. Not our final piece, but definitely something, if I'm not mistaken, you have that artistic inspiration and possibly music included in this one?
Yes. Very much.
Okay, so now we're going on. I see the guitars on set. So tell us a little bit about the guitar, and then we'll get back to that piece we were just discussing.
So, as you mentioned, I am a luthier. I build guitars. This is a piece that I built from scratch. But I wanted to marry my love for art and luthierism into one guitar. Mm-hmm. So this was something I've never done before, but I'm really proud to say that it's something I will continue doing.
I mean, it's absolutely amazing. Was this from a photo?
This is actually taken from inspiration from an old Trinidad, British West Indies postcard.
Okay.
It depicts Trinidad in the maracas in the 50s.
It's absolutely beautiful as well. Great detail again. I'm interested to know though, so would you have used acrylic for this as well, as you mentioned?
This is acrylic, yes.
So how do you seal it, of course, or is there some sort of gloss over it?
Yes, well, I use nitrocellulose lacquer, which is the premium finish on electric guitars, over the acrylic. So it's premium for guitars and premium for artists.
I mean, definitely making a statement there through music, of course. Now, let's go on to this final piece that we were just referencing. Numerous details in this one. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, as you can see, the really inspired by the old masters again. This is one of the earliest pieces I've ever done on acrylic and canvas. This depicts, of course, you know, we're in the Christmas season. It is the birth of Christ scene, and the lyric. You all know the Christmas Carol, the little drummer boy. I really like the idea of the fact that you see the kings in the contrast, bringing silver and gold and riches, but yet a humble little boy. The only thing he has to offer is his song and his music, and what better gift to offer the King of Kings than a song?
Definitely, and some brilliant detail there as well as see the intricacies with the star, of course, if I'm not mistaken, some turtle doves, some cherubs, and so much more as well. Benjamin, if we would like to get more information, where can we find you?
Well, you can contact me through Instagram at Baron Guitars TT. And Ben and Kate Art, for specifically just artwork.
Wonderful. Well, Benjamin, thank you so much for joining us. And thank you for loaning us your incredible artwork for the week. I know you're going to be taking the guitar, so Trinidad and Tobago, make sure that you get a last look at this incredible artwork and ensure that you follow Benjamin on Instagram for more. Stay tuned. This is the Now Morning Show, and we'll be back in a few moments.